Good evening, people. Welcome to Reaching Out with Eddie. Man, I tell you the title of the show, Operation Unfinished Business. And the reason why I say that the title of this show is Operation Unfinished Business is because I first heard that when I watched I guess, the U.S. attorney when he had the media come and I was told to go there, but definitely I didn't go there. Uh, the recent drug bust is what I'm rambling about. I'm a little bit kind of like set off on that because it kind of touched close to home with me. And the reason why it touched close to home with me because of course I had family members that was arrested in that. Before you try to judge me or anybody else would have family members or even judge those that was arrested, remember again they're innocent until proven guilty. Want to talk about several things, and Operation Unfinished Business is what the Mississippi Bureau of Narcotics named their operation when they arrested everyone. I think starting a couple of days ago. We're gonna say it was the shock that was sent around the state of Mississippi. And in other parts of the U.S., even in Mexico, but especially Mississippi. They arrested so many people from the state of Mississippi. On the first day, they picked up 40 people. The next day, I'm told they picked up an additional 19. They are still looking for people, and I know this is being factual information. And folks, I don't really. It bothers me a great deal, and I can tell you why it bothers me. It's because it's always us that suffer the most for anything. Now, I'm going to talk to you about victimless crimes. A victimless crime is when you put someone in jail for a long period of time for something like such as selling drugs. Um, and of course, not everybody sell drugs go to jail. Two Bell don't get started. Two Bell get started. Bro, what you talking about? But folks, what I'm talking about is that the people that sell the most drugs that does the most damage are the ones that benefit the most from it are the same people that keep drugs such as marijuana from becoming taken off the illegal. And that the Biden administration has suggested and ordered that marijuana be removed from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, which makes it a misdemeanor. But think about all the people that have been to jail. Think of all the people that are doing time even now for sale and possession of marijuana. And if you really look at it, marijuana is not dangerous at all. It should never have been illegal in the first place. Now, I am of the opinion, this is my opinion. Hold up, let me talk to Q. Y'all got to see Q. Q, you got to come up. Come on, get on a double screen up here and then we'll get back with stuff. Yeah, y'all see cute. Get with a side view. Can you just turn around? Can y'all see that? That's one of the prettiest wigs that I have ever seen. Look at her. You see how
Don't
she
play with me, cause this not a wig, okay?
and she is right. That is her hair. I had somebody say my hair soft as cotton. Yeah, they talking about the cotton bowls, but her hair really is soft. It's she has a nice gray hair. You can see that it's very beautiful. You look very nice, Q. So, is there anything that you want to say? Anything before I really get going, or you want to wait and comment later?
Uh, I'll just wait and comment later.
Okay, good. Okay, get off my screen. But folks, listen to me. What I want you all to do is ask me questions. Ask me hard questions. Ask me the kind of questions that you want to know. You don't if you don't want me to answer it here, I'll answer it next week. So I'm trying to engage you guys. I want you guys to start asking me questions, and I'll answer any question that you want me to I'll answer any question that you ask me. And it can be a legal question, it can be a moral question, it can be about anything. But I want to get back to Operation Unfinished Business. When I heard that, I mean, I was really impressed with the people being at a press conference that was open to the public. Of course, nobody went. Uh, and but a few people did go and they did ask a question, but I did watch and I want to thank the person whoever put it on Facebook. I want to thank them for that. And I tell you, I just want to y'all might not believe this, but Lo do a lot. She does a lot. And I ain't talking about bad things. She does a lot of good things in the community. She does a lot of things by making sure that you are aware of what's going on in your community and sometime in your family. And I want to say this is that like I want to talk about Operation Unfinished Business. I listened to it and I watched it, and of course, you had about three or four different sheriff from three or four different counties, and then you had Alabama was involved. You had people that was arrested as far away as California, and I'm told that some. I mean, like you guys really got to be careful talking on the phone because here's another thing that bothered me. I mean, I listened at the press conference. I was really, I was impressed, and reason why I was impressed at what was said and what was done, at the level of tenacity, obstinance, just sticking to it and accomplishing a job. But I think it was money, and when you look at the amount of money that was spent, you look at all the different agencies up there, and you watch this. If you really don't know what's going on, you would say, "Wow, man." They have really knocked a dent in the drug trade. No, they haven't. No, they have not at all. Some of the people that I know that was arrested, especially Dakota Holt. I know y'all. Yes, that's my daughter. Uh, and uh, you hear Two Belt talking to me. Two Belt, don't do that. Wait a minute, hold up. Y'all see this thing do that? Anyway, I don't know whether y'all saw that or not. Boy, I'm telling you, folks, I'm steady trying to delete stuff that keep popping up on my screen. Q, when it pop on my screen, do they see it? Okay, that's good. I'm glad of that because it pops up and on the screen, and I do not like when it pops up there. But I want to go on and I want to continue to talk about the recent drug bust and all the people that was busted. I was shocked at some of the names that I saw as probably you were out there in podcast land. I still don't, folks. I just got to tell you, I totally don't agree with what happened at all. I'm not impressed with the agencies. And when you start talking about a lot of money being spent for them to arrest so many people, yes, they burned a lot of gas. These people are already on the payroll. They didn't take no kind of special surveillance or somebody going every day watching someone and following them and going everywhere they go. And that these people were charged with conspiracy. I have not seen one individual out of all the 40 people that was indicted and charged that was charged with conspiracy. Now, I like to say this. Y'all, Q, can you come up again? I want them to see you. And I know y'all seen her all the time. You can go ahead, wave. I just wanted them to see you. Y'all, that's my wife right there. And you know what? And you look at her and you look at me, and you might ask yourself, I'm a good man. I raised the bar so damn high, Superman can't fly over it. That's how I raised bars. And I got that from a friend of mine. When he said that, and he's telling the truth, that's what he does. He raised the bar so high when he's in a relationship with a person, Superman can't fly over it. Meaning everything that needs to be done, I'm gonna do it. I my lady, I'm gonna treat her like a queen, and that's what KQ stand for. Candy, sweet like candy, Q for queen. That's my candy queen right there, and she's my wife. But I said all that to say this is that on the same token, conspiracy, the threshold for convicting someone for conspiracy is so low a snake can crawl over. So low, a earthworm can crawl over. So low, a ant can't even slide through it. That's how easy it is to convict someone for conspiracy. Meaning that if you're in the room with someone and that person is talking about drugs, they literally can say that you was in there, you didn't get a chance to speak, or you didn't speak. The fact that you're there. If you're there and a crime is being committed, that's conspiracy. The threshold for convicting someone of conspiracy is so low that all of you out there in podcast land, including me, could be charged with that. And wow, and God forbid that you or anyone that you know and love charged with that. The feds. Let's talk about the feds and talk about the states. Before I get into that, this here is what Todd Gee said, and it's Todd, and his last name is G. It sounds like Gene, he said, but it's Gee, and I imagine he pronounced it G. Todd G. He's the U.S. Attorney for, I guess, the Southern District for Mississippi. He said, "Get out of the business, or the individual arrested today, or like the individual." Let me go back and requote this: "Get out of the business, or like the individuals arrested today, you will spend the majority of your life behind bars." That's what he said. Man, that's a powerful thing to say. That's telling all of you out there, y'all, Folks, you know how we. I'm from the hood. Y'all see me reach in. I had that was a mosquito. Now you know this got to be a hood mosquito because you kill mosquitoes that out this time of year. I had to get it. I couldn't stand for it to hit me and draw the blood out. I ain't got that much blood. Look at my hand. I already got the look. Just quit playing. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Anyway, Tarji said that. And again, get out of the business of dealing drugs or associated with it or like the individuals arrested today, and this is what he said during the press conference. On the same day, 40 people was arrested, or like or you will spend the rest of your life behind bars. Folks, it's sad that none of these people was caught with drugs. None of these people was arrested for possession of drugs. None of these people was arrested for selling drugs. All these damn agencies, every last one of them. Oh, you got your chest. I know you're gonna get mad at me and you ain't gonna like what I'm saying, but it's not right. I'm not with that. I'm from pro-choice. Oh, okay, you're here too. Oh, there go one of them liberals. See, too, but Brian, know you's a liberal. I'm not a liberal. I'm very conservative because I'm pro-choice. That doesn't make me a liberal. That make me a kind of person that I believe in a person right to choose and a right person right to choice. I don't think any man should tell a woman what she be doing, what she should do with her body, because the responsibility of taking care of a child and prevent pregnancy is not just a one-sided sword. It's a double-edged sword, and it's a two-sided coin. It takes two to tango. It takes two to make a baby. So if that woman want to have that child, and it's that man's responsibility to take care of that child, and in my case, that woman too. Hold up. If that man don't want a child, it's not only her responsibility to be on birth control and use something such as a naloxone 9 or any other type of spermicide or condoms or any kind of thing to prevent pregnancy. It is his duties also to prevent that pregnancy. And there's so many things that you can do to prevent a pregnancy. But if that pregnancy comes and neither of them are wanted, that is between them two those individuals. More so, especially the woman. If the man want a child and she don't want it, I'm still on the side of with that woman right to choose to get rid of that baby, and that man should help pay for it. Because you should get to know the person that you're laying down with. You shouldn't be laying down with anyone if you don't know that person. Get to know that person. Know who their parents are. Know whether or not that person want a child or don't want a child. Don't take anyone's choices from them. I believe in honest conversation. I can say I got that from your new supervisor in District 2. That's Craig Houston. He definitely say honest conversation. And so I did learn that from him. See, here's what I believe in is that we should continually educate ourselves and learn all we can learn and be all we can be for as long as we can be that and learn that. And so I want to get back and talk about this choice again. I think it's a person's choice to smoke marijuana, crack meth, or any other drug. Oh, they talk about the dangers of illegal drugs into society. Bullshit, folks. Damn it, y'all better do your research. Let's talk about Operation Unfinished Business. Let's just address the elephants in the room. Okay, I want to read this to you. I want to say this about very impressed with Ward Calhoun. Now, what he said, and he said the truth. He said it may take years, and for them to bust you if you're dealing drugs or illegal drugs. It's but keep your activities and you will get to know us if you don't know us already. Wow. I was impressed with that statement. I find no fault in that man. Lauderdale County, y'all got it right, y'all. And I voted for him. I did. I voted for him. I wouldn't finna vote for Gerald Johnson. And so let's go back to these illegal drugs that they're talking about. Folks, I got to. Oh, you got something to say? Go
Mhm.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, what I was gonna say is they talking about like these drugs being illegal, but they're the ones that brought it into like they're basically the ones that helped bring it into like the United States or whatever. Like they basically help like in a sense like with the mafia and stuff like that. They help bring illegal drugs into the United States and into the black community. So how is it illegal if y'all brought it into our communities basically? Like
And I agree with you. Cocaine was dumped into, I think Oakland, California. The CIA dumped that.
mhm.
And believe this or not, folks. Now it's been said and it's been shown, and whether it's proof or not, that the Bush brothers was arrested when George Bush George Bush one, not before he was president of the United States. If I'm not mistaken, he was the director of the CIA. His boy was arrested on a plane bringing drugs in from South of America in
Mhm.
Florida, and they was uh, like rushed away, never arrested. One of them ended up being George Bush too. Ended up being the president of the United States, and his other brother ended up being the governor of Florida, where they was arrested bringing drugs into this country. But
Yeah,
they actually, they really, literally did. You can see this, that drugs was dumped into the streets of Oakland. This is crack cocaine in the
basically.
early 80s.
That's why I said like before the cartel, there was the mafia, which was white people. And
Yeah.
so white people brought the illegal drugs in, and now they try to blame it on basically they try to blame it on the black community, and they wanna like basically put our people in boxes basically for the rest of their lives, and they taking away people, family members, moms, dads, brothers, sisters.
They
They
don't
they
care.
don't and they don't yeah they don't care about that. That's just another they just putting basically it
Q, I'm
just
sorry about that. I was trying to get off.
I was just about like I was saying, like it just don't make no sense how they're basically how white people is basically trying to control try to control us as black people. They're still trying to control us like it's still slavery and like it's still the 1800s and like it's still slavery and I don't agree with I don't agree with what's going on. I don't agree with what happened. For one, they shouldn't have arrested all of those people. If like because I mean, and they're all charged with conspiracy. Like that don't make any sense
Keep
for
talking. I turned my computer off by mistake.
that don't make any sense for them to arrest anybody under conspiracy. But that's that's what that's what I meant by hold on. Give me a minute.
In my notes.
Okay.
Hey, folks. Sorry about that. I'm back. I want to continue talking. You know what? Two Belt was talking in my ear. See, I don't never do anything wrong. So it wasn't me. It was Two Belt. Two Belt was talking in my ear, and he was trying his best to get something in. Okay, now you hear Two Belt talking. Now he's bro, get your story right. Okay, so folks, I inadvertently hit the wrong button and I turned my switch off. But I want to talk about the choices again. What I did is I did my research. A lot of you know that because I'm always talking about the education I have and bring that up out there. Once you bring it up, then we'll switch back out. Um, I'm always talking about the education that I have, and I want to talk to you guys about the number one killer in America. The number one killer in America, folks. Some of you out there probably doing it right now. I had never seen Lolo do a Lolo live, and she wasn't smoking a cigarette. That's the number one killer in the world, folks. The number one killer in the world kills more people than all the illegal drug use, including legal drug. When a person died from okay, drug overdose from illegal drugs and prescription drugs in America is 106,000 per year. In the world, including America, is 1.3 million. Also, homicides in America. In America, a homicide is when you kill another person. However you kill them, with a hammer, stick, gun, or slingshot, or bow and arrow. Or in tool belt case with a tool belt, 198,000. Worldwide, 475,000, slightly less than a million, slightly less than a half million. Car wrecks in America killed 39, I rounded up, 39,000 people. In the world, 1.3 million people are killed from a car wreck. Okay, accidental death. This is when somebody's accidentally killed. 37,000, and I rounded up again. In the world, 1.35 million. Okay, let's talk about unintentional deaths when somebody accidentally get killed, like a child playing with a gun and it goes off, or either you got your gun in your lap, it drops off and it kill you. Unintentional deaths. In America, 200,955. almost 201,000 people. Okay, now, this here is if you take all the illegal drug users, and that's people that die from that, and this is illegal drugs, folks, including people that die from that are prescribed oxycodone or Loratabs and they die, or prescribed even heart medicine and they die accidentally from taking too much because they're addicted to it, or heroin. Those people is 1.3 million. The number two killer in the world, folks, is alcohol. This shit is legally sold by the same damn people that arrested the people like in our community. So here they is vilifying black people, taking away their lives, destroying their homes, but they ain't going out. If one time during prohibition, you could not sell alcohol. They could not regulate it or stop the mob, and the Al Capone became a millionaire and they couldn't get him. And so they made tax evasion a federal offense when you didn't pay your taxes a federal offense, and that's what he went to jail for, and he died from syphilis in prison. You ask me, I said they probably gave it to him. But man, people get mad at me how I talk, but I'm talking real and I'm keeping it 100. I'm actually telling you the things that are actually going on and the things that are actually done. I'm talking about 8 million people worldwide die from cigarette, tobacco. You smoking it out there right now, you're a damn fool. Causes high blood pressure, heart disease, COPD, heart and other arteries, lung cancer, breast cancer, throat cancer. I can go on and on and on and on. You got to be a damn fool to go and pay $5 for a pack of cigarettes, and that's usually generic, and then every time you pull on it. Hold up. It kills 1.3 millions. That's from secondhand smoke. That's what this is not included in that. Yes, it is. It includes the 1.3 million people that are die from inhaling secondhand smoke. So when you hanging around your folks and smoking, you're killing yourself. But folks, I got to point that out to you. Tobacco is the number one killer in the world. Tobacco kills more people than the illegal drug use, homicides, car wrecks, accidental deaths, and unintentional deaths in America and in the world. Tobacco does that by itself. The number one and number two killer in the world kills 11 million people in the world every year, and in America, half million people, more than a half million people, almost 600,000 people die in America every year from related to alcohol, tobacco, and tobacco. But they gonna go out. Illegal drug use only kill 106,000 people a year in America. 1.3 million worldwide, and that's including the drug overdose people that are addicted to drugs. So the amount of people that illegal drugs kill is a lot less than the people that die in America just by itself. Now, folks will tell me what's really going on. So drug use, when they use drugs, is functional now. We call it functionalism in sociology. It's functional. It keeps people employed. It keeps people separated. It keeps some people looking down on other people. Black people ain't number drug dealers. No, 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 no. When you go into that liquor store and you go into your neighborhood convenience store, you see those cigarettes, you see alcohol, you see wine, you see all this stuff on that is legally sold. So here's what I say. I say that what should be done is all drug use, period. It should not be no Schedule 1, no Schedule 2, no Schedule 3, nor Schedule 4. None of that shit should be illegal. It should be regulated just like alcohol and just like tobacco. They couldn't stop it, so they got tired of seeing all the money being made. And so they made alcohol legal. And folks, I got to say this too. I got to say this is that one of the things that we should do is that we should make drugs illegal. We should make drugs legal. We should decriminalize drugs. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason why we should decriminalize drugs because they use it as social control. Marijuana didn't become illegal until the Mexicans was no longer needed during World War II. And then y'all see Q. Q is up there. Come on back here, Q. And come on, Q finna take over, and we finna do a switch out. I'm fixing to go up there and everything. Okay, all right. Q, do you have any comment about what I just said?
I do. I do actually. And I was listening in to what Grace said. He's right about that. Um, we shouldn't. The I feel like the government should not have a say so of what people want to do in their life.
and
As
consume.
as
They
long,
should.
yeah, and
It's a
but as
victimless
long
crime. It ain't hurt nobody.
as long as they doing it in the privacy and safety of their home and not by and not
Or anywhere else.
yeah, that's what I'm
In the
saying. As
streets,
long as
in the
they're
park.
not,
Yeah.
long as they're not bothering nobody, then yeah,
But long as no crime is not being
that's what I
violated.
meant. That's what
Yeah.
I meant. As long as they,
And folks, I got to say this too, and Q is right. Well, it should not be illegal, and what makes it illegal, but look at the damage it does. And it does hurt. And it creates an income for them. They make a lot of money. Not only that, besides creating an income for them, it makes a lot of money. And also it puts people to work. It put them to work. You only see a few of us token is making real money. And then, but all those people that got arrested, folks, at the end of their indictment, they saying they're gonna seize their property, meaning take everything that belongs to them, associated with their names and that kind of thing. And it's sad because we lost some. We actually, believe it or not, my nephew Ramon Payne has a lot of houses. No, he did not get them from dealing drugs. Once he started, he gets about $10,000 a month from HUD. How many of you out there can say, hey, look here, he was getting $10,000 a month from HUD in 2016. So we gonna say that at least 9 years ago he was getting $10,000 a month from HUD, and so now it's probably about $15,000 or $20,000 that a month get from the HUD. So see how my nephew was charged with conspiracy to do whatever because he was talking to somebody on the phone. You know what? Sometimes when we are talking, and not just black folks, that's other people, we say things that we don't mean sometimes we bragging and we get to talking too much and say the wrong thing, but doesn't necessarily mean it's factual. It's easy for, I feel sorry for my family, and it bothers me. I feel sorry for your family too. I feel sorry for your friends. I feel it's a sad day in the black community, but you done this shit. To Bell said, damn it, don't say that again, bro. But damn it, you did do it. How you do it? Because your ass won't fucking vote. You won't get involved in the damn situation and they know that. They was fucking scared to damn death when they passed the Civil Rights Act of 1966, 4 or 5, whatever year it is. Two better know. Q know. Q gonna tell y'all the exact day, but I think it's 1966. But it doesn't matter. Once they passed that, all the same people that are in the Republican parties are the ones that used to be in the Democratic Party. They voted the Democratic Party and went to the Republican Party. Why did they do that, too, Bell say? Because at that particular time, Johnson was the president of the United States and he happened to be a Democrat. And so the Democrats got mad at his ass and went to the Republican Party. Of course, during Reconstruction or prior to Reconstruction, when it was slaves, it was Lincoln's party. That's why a lot of blacks, some of them are still Republican. But niggas like Tim Scott ain't nothing but a fucking sellout. Him and Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tim Scott, nigga, sellout, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Taylor Park trash. Man, what see, here's my problem with all of you out there that love Donald Trump. You are fucking racist. You're racist. You are so fucking prejudiced and so blind by your hate and your ignorance that you know this damn man is a criminal. You know he's a everything. That the fact that he was indicted even one damn time, y'all ass should die. This man getting ready to be on the ticket. And you know what, folks? We really don't have a good choice. We don't have a choice between Biden old ass or either damn Donald Trump old ass. One's a criminal and the other one is just a racist. Uh-oh. Two-Belt, you gonna let me do my show? Is he gonna let Q? Is he gonna let me do my show? You reckon Two-Belt gonna let me show? So how you gonna call Biden a racist? Because his ass is supporting Israel. That's the reason why I say that. Y'all see Israel, them white folks over there killing all them peoples of color. And ain't nobody saying shit about that. Over 26,000 women and children being killed in Palestine. Guess what they want? Palestine, they call it the Gaza Strip. That Gaza Strip, y'all look at it on the map. It's right next to whatever the Mediterranean Sea, whatever you call it. Got a lot of gold and oil off in there. That's what Israel want. These white folks that are originally from Russia, Europe, yeah, Russia's in Europe and in Asia, it's just that big. And most of them were from Russia and other parts of Europe and a few from the United States. Became a country in 1986 and they went in there. And they started taking shit from these people. And they are occupying nation. They're not a country. They are occupying the Gaza still. The Palestinians is actually a nation. Israel is not. Might they'll make right all the time. And y'all talk about God this and God that. Shut the fuck up and keep God's name out your damn mouth. You gonna pray to God and hope that everything be okay. Damn it, if God was listening when none of this shit be happening in the first place. Oh, wow. Ain't listening to me. Ain't listening to you. You satisfied with fucking scraps of meat thrown up on the table while Jesus and everybody else sit down and eat the feed? Well, damn it, I want to eat what Jesus eat. I want to sit at the table. I don't want the shit from up under the table that the dogs get. Niggas are less than dogs. And y'all made this shit your damn fault because you won't get your ass up and vote. Y'all get your ass up and start voting now because your family, your friends, your cousin, your nephew, your son, your baby daddy ass in jail. They ain't getting out no time soon. And that's sad. Y'all allow for them to use their numbers to destroy us, and we're in a majority situation. We're in a situation, we got niggas like Tim Scott to fucking get the damn job, and they don't give a fuck about you and me. Then you have your mayors in there, Jimmy Smith. Now, don't you make the same damn mistake Percy Bland made and thinking that you did that shit once before. So you go back to when you were supervisor, how we got rid of your ass because you stopped listening to us. And Dustin Marker, you are an atrocious judge. Now, just like what you said about Bob Bailey being too young and not ready for judgeship yet, your ass ain't either. Now, I don't say it got anything to do with age. I say it got more so to do about doing right. Now, you was wrong in what you did with your friend. Now, I'm going to talk about that too, but let me get back to this. All these people being arrested and charged under conspiracy, folks. They was charged with conspiracy. I'm looking where the possession, where the sales. You mean to tell me all these damn agents are so fucking incompetent they couldn't arrest not one of these people with possession? You listening at them on the phone and all of y'all are 100 agencies? Two Bell said 100. I'm telling a story, Two Bell. Damn it, let me tell my story. 100 agencies. They had everything but the Boy Scout, the Girl Scout, and Marine Public School. They had everybody else was involved with this. They didn't have one. They ain't caught nobody. They don't like these because these are black people. These are young black people that have a pretty good business head on themselves that have able to take a few dollars. And in my nephew case, he would buy a regular house. He bought my mother house for a couple of grand and start working on it. He'll buy a house for a couple of grand and he'll work on it and fix on it. And he put other black people to work. Jane Green is a plumber. Yeah, he likes smoke marijuana. This shit shouldn't be illegal. But now they done took this skill that this black man did out of a Jane Green is a good person. He don't deserve what he's going through to go through it. You know what? It's just sad that they took so many black people that have children and grandchildren and husbands and daughters and everything and didn't give a fuck about that. And y'all gonna rub up to these people and keep them in power. We can't do anything about anybody to have a job by virtue of their education, but you can do something about who's president of the United States, who's supervisor. You can do something about who your district attorney is, who your judge is. I gotta talk about that for a minute. You lawyers in Lauderdale County are the sorry sacks of shit. Y'all sorry as fuck. Y'all so damn money hungry and so damn scared. Y'all won't even run against them damn judges down there. No judge anywhere should ever go into that next 4 years and not have an opponent. Nobody should have a job because nobody would run again. Ain't nobody doing no job that damn good. Look at it. You know what they satisfied with, just like they like Trump, because they fucking with niggas. They put niggas in jail. They looking out for the superior race. They looking out for the supreme race. They looking out for other white folk. Y'all ain't gotta believe me. Look at Russia. White folks fighting white folks. They don't like that shit, but they really want to be able to control what Russia do, but Russia ain't. Obviously, Russia doesn't have a racist bone in their body like the damn Western society and the Western nation does, because they want to vilify Russia. But if y'all think about it, Russia ain't done shit to us. Russia ain't done anything to anybody. And they are using precision weapons. You go and Google it and see how many white folks Russia has killed and how they talk about it, how they sending all that money to the Ukrainians to stop Russia. But then Google and see how many folks Israel, occupying whatever they call themselves, They're not. They are occupying that because they don't own that. They went in there and used their might, and they're using money. And the U.S., France, England, all those other Western nations are popping them, propping them up by giving them money, giving them like they're doing in the Ukraine. But look how many people of color have been killed. Wow, we getting into some deep shit right here because now we talking about world population. If your world cannot continue to sustain itself, if you continue to have sex, two bells, bro, you don't even tell them, leave them alone, two bells. Anyway, you continue to have sex. You're breeding, children born every second. Used to be every minute. Now it's every microsecond. Child, every time I speak, two or three children is popping out somewhere. So they got to depopulate the earth because before it destroys the food supply, not enough food to feed everybody. So who do you think they're gonna kill? That? Hold up, if I gotta choose who I'm gonna kill, who I'm gonna kill? I'm not gonna kill my women in church. I'm not gonna kill nobody in my family. If I gotta kill somebody and I get to choose who I kill, I ain't killing nobody in my family. Oh, okay, wow. And if I still get the chance to choose, I ain't killing nobody in my race. But I got to kill somebody. I'm going outside of my race and do it. So that's what they're doing, folks. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's part of the natural order. It's unnatural for you to care more about your own house. Clean up your house before you clean up somebody else's house. God, they tell you that white man use that Bible to oppress us, but also he got all his secrets, all his things. And he said, my people suffer for lack of knowledge. He said, you ignorant nigga, you suffer because you don't know. He said, arm yourself. He didn't say my people this time. He said, arm yourself with the sword of sweet. Now he talking to them. The sword of truth ain't nothing but knowledge. So arm yourself, learn all you can, get the right knowledge. Don't get the wrong information. Arm yourself, not only knowledge now, whatever it is to kill, to steal, and to destroy. Arm yourself with it. Just take steal out of it. How about just to kill, to protect, and to destroy? Arm yourself with that. That's that pen. That's that sword. And in the case of Israel, it's that gunpowder and those projectiles that's coming out of there. It's that might. You're suffering for lack of knowledge. So no, arm yourself with the sword of truth. Truth is knowledge, but arm yourself as weapons. Sword of truth, folks. Wow. That's some powerful words like that. So the world is overpopulated. The first thing they did is they like Q said, they pumped drugs into the black community. The next thing they did, they now we talked about this when I used to work. A lot of people don't know it. I worked for the state of Alabama. I worked for the state of Alabama in 1990, from 90 to 91. I resigned after about a year. Anyway, when I was getting indoctrinated, when I was being taught how to do my job. One of the things that this guy was a scientist for the United States government laboratory. Q, talk for a moment. Q, come on and talk for a moment. I don't care what you talk about. Talk for a moment.
Okay. Oh yeah. Uh. Well, I'm since I'll talk about my hair since you said I can talk about my hair. Okay. So basically, like before I met Gray, y'all, I was wearing a number of wigs, and I lost like this part, like almost lost like that part up there. But then I let, yeah, I almost, yeah, yeah,
That's how the wigs had a hat. Y'all look at it. The
yeah,
women wear that wig all the time. That hair, they start right here and it go back further and further. Q had got about right longer here.
yeah,
Y'all see where she at now. But anyway,
yeah,
we're gonna get back to our subject. Folks, I'm sorry about that interruption. My son was waking up, and my son, just like me, suffered from sinuses. When I used to, I'm cured from that now. And they wake up making noise, and so I definitely had to stop that. But folks, and then they the next thing they did is that one of the things the guy talked about, I ain't gonna call his name, but this was discussed, is that they created the A virus in the U.S. laboratory. They call it biowarfare, and they still practices that. If you go and you can look at some of the news in other places, don't just listen at Fox. All the U.S. media has one job, and that is to control the information that you get. News media in America and everywhere else, especially in the Western nation, is your information highway, but it's not necessarily the right information. And so I appreciate my education, because when I had to do a paper or thesis or a book report or whatever, I had to have reference, and then I also had to cross reference. And that's what you should do when you start looking at the news. You need to filter that information. But the world is overpopulated. And to depopulate it, they don't want to get rid of this, and so they intentionally. This guy said they intentionally Once they did that, and if you look at it, there's more people dying in Africa. They intentionally put it in Africa, and then they once they put it in Africa, they had the Africans thinking they was being inoculated for tuberculosis, and then they put it in the gay community, like in San Francisco and in New York. That did that intentionally, and it hit the world. It hit, they didn't care about what was going on in Africa, but when it killed Rock Hudson, and y'all can go back and look at it, and start killing those mainstream America, this it got out of hand. They thought they can control it, and they couldn't. It's like a wildfire. When you create a fire and the wind is blowing, you're not going to be able to control it. And so they panicked. And so what they did is they got the drug that was used for morning sickness, and they had taken it off the market, and they panicked, and they gave people that, and everybody that took that drug, they died within 6 months. And some of you have family members, if you go back to the 80s and 90s, they died within 6 months of taking that drugs. And the people that did not take the drug are still alive to this day. And of course, they came up with the cocktail, and now they have things now that'll keep it the viral load below. It's undetectable. The viral load is undetectable, still there, but undetectable. And as long as it's undetectable, they say that you still can have sex and not contract AIDS. And so, but they intentionally did this thing, and even to this day, even the Ebola virus was created. If you go back and you look at your news, and once it got out of hand in Africa, why is it that the United States government went in there with their military to contain it? Because it was their virus. I'm going, if I do something, I'm gonna go and take responsibility and try to contain it. And so they did. And then you have they have a cure for it, but it's not a cure for me and you. It's a cure for, we're gonna call it the Illuminati. Two, that's what you mean by that. The elite class. I didn't say your upper class. The elite class is those few people that runs the whole world, because the Jewish community not only loaned money to Hitler, they loaned it to the American people too. The people, we are not the Jewish, we gonna say it, the elite class, the Illuminati, the people with money. Your money lenders, they loan money to everybody because they're gambling. It's like Roger Druid. Roger Druid used to donate money to both parties, but the one he wanted to win, he would give them more money. And so Roger Druid had an idea on how to do things. And so I want to get on and talk about that. So again, folks, you see the number one killer in the world is tobacco. The number two is alcohol. Illegal drugs and prescription drugs only kills 1.3 million in the whole world. Alcohol by itself killed three times more than that. Two best of that. Well, two best. Can I round the 1.3 down to one? And the 3 million people are killed by alcohol related illnesses every year in the world. So that is more than three times. But it's legal and they're selling it. And folks, so what's really going on? Because when you have the illegal drugs, and then you're not giving black people jobs, you're not educating them, you're not giving people gonna go out and make money. We are innovators. We gonna figure out how to make money when it's not money. But it's only when those black peoples in Oakland and places like that, they start becoming millionaires. And so once they start becoming millionaires and having nice homes and moving into their neighborhoods, then what they did then is came up with seizure laws, and they start seizing that. So they're gonna seize everybody's property, and that's sad that they're gonna be seizing folks' property. And so, folks, it's sad that 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, however many people was arrested, and they had people phone tap folks. Their phone was tapped, and they heard them talking, and that's why these people are in jail. Wow, folks, this is sad. It's a sad day. Yeah, no, I understand, bro. That too bad rubbing my shoulder. So, bro, I understand. That's what we do to each other. We rub each other. It's sad. And man, and they got a hearing coming up Tuesday, and I'm going up there. I'm going up there and support my daughter Dakota Hope. I'm gonna go and support her. And she never been in trouble before. She don't have a felony conviction. She got a DUI other charge, and I think running a red light or something. Those are only two charges she had. So I want to talk about that, folks. Um, how about I got. I want to talk about that. I want to tell y'all that that the Fed have five categories. They have category 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you get arrested by the feds and everybody's in category 1, If you got a felony conviction or a misdemeanor conviction, that puts you in a different category. Let's just talk and let's just talk 5 years. Let's give some even numbers like 8. And let's say if you're charged with something and it carries from 8 to 80 years, then if you get convicted, if and the feds have guidelines, there's no sense in anyone hiring a lawyer. It's not going to do you any good because they have guidelines. You can pay $1 million, they're not going to deviate from those guidelines. So the feds have guidelines and they go by those guidelines. The judge gonna go by those guidelines, and those guidelines call for you to get 2 to 40 for a charge. And so they have a point system also. A point knocks 1/8, if I'm not mistaken, 1/8 of the sentence off of your sentence. So let's say if it's 8 years and you get 1 point, that means it knocks it down to 7 years. Okay, if you get 2 points, oh, now you down to 6 years. Y'all see where I'm going with that? So if you get, you can literally, with the Fed system, literally, and I'm not going to call his name, but this person went for the feds and went and brought a cartel down in Texas. And this person had life without parole twice, and the feds let him go home. Now I'm not telling y'all to. I'm saying that the first person to start cooperating with the feds is the person that's gonna get less time than anybody. A person that's arrested by the Fed and they don't cooperate and they go in there hardball and everything, they gonna get a lot of time. They gonna get the max in. Hey, if you got a felony conviction, that already put you up in category 2. So if you face and say 2 to 20, then you ain't gonna get to 2. You're gonna get somewhere like 6 or 8. That puts you in category 2. And if you got another, if you've been to prison twice, that's gonna put you in category 3, which is really, really bad. So let's say it's 50 years. So you could have got 10, 20, or 30. So now you're gonna get 30 years. And let's say if you go up in category 4, now we're talking about 40 years out of the 50. And now let's say if you go up in category 5, you will be on the max end. Okay, let's say if they got you charged with being by a school or something like that, that enhances it. And not only do you get 50, that can also give you life. But one thing about the feds, and I want all of you to understand that the Fed does not give parole. If you get 5 years and they don't give years, they give months. So 10 years is 120 months. Y'all see where I'm going with that. So 60 months is 5 years. That's what the feds give. If they give you 120 months, you will do all 120 months if you don't get any points. And your category can, well, if you get 100, if you get 10 years, that means you was facing somewhere from 10 to life, or 10 to 60, or 10 to 20. You like 2 to 40 or something like that. So I wanted to explain that to you. And I was told by a friend that done federal time before, said that everybody should buy this book. And I know Lolo know the name of that book. And perhaps maybe Lolo would take a picture of it and put it up on this podcast, or either she'll share it on her when she go live. It's a book that costs about $40, telling you about their point system, how what makes a person get less time and all that thing. And so I recommended everybody get that book. And so now I done said enough about that, but I want to talk about one thing that I got to talk about. One of the things that I want to talk about is I want to talk about, they got a sign in law in a lot of you, if you ever been arrested for domestic violence in the state of Mississippi, when you're charged with domestic violence, that when you're charged with any misdemeanor except for domestic violence, then the person can be able to go and dismiss it. Dustin has a sign up that domestic violence will not be dismissed. I think that's unfair. I don't think that Dustin should have that kind of authority to tell, but he's the judge. He's one in charge. Folks, y'all know a city court judge is the lowest judge on the podium. It's not, they don't, they basically, a justice court judge has more power than a city court judge. Definitely. Because anything come from city court is appealed to justice court, from justice court to county court to circuit court to the appeal courts, and then to the Supreme Court of the state of Mississippi. From there, Fifth Circuit in, I think it's in New Orleans. And then from the Fifth Circuit, it goes to the United States Supreme Court, and they decide whether or not they're going to hear it. And so I want to talk about this a little bit before I get away. I want to say a couple of things. I got to say these things. And the reason why I got to say these things, because it is my job and it's my duty for you to know. And so I want y'all to see that this is the sign here. I hope y'all can see it. Let me see. Can I get, oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. Oh, wow. Let me see. Can I? Well, it said this is a sign. Well, okay, well, it can't do it, but it said charges related to domestic violence shall not be dropped under any circumstance. You hear that? Under any circumstances. This is what Dustin Markham said. Now, most of the people that are going down there for domestic violence are black people. A lot of you are eligible to vote. Y'all better organize and get rid of that nigga. Get rid of that Bama. Get him up out of there. You ain't got to do nothing but protest to Jimmy Smith. If you file a judiciary performance complaint against his ass, you're doing the wrong thing. Yes, do it when he do something wrong. But get on Jimmy Smith, because Jimmy Smith can't keep his job if you don't give it to him again. Jimmy Smith, that's what I wanted to remind you of. When you were supervisor, you became so arrogant that you started listening to them and not listening to us. And you lost. You lost by by your skin. By, I mean, just by a small amount. You lost. You lost. No, they lost. He lost Mayor by a small amount, well, a few hundred or a few, about 10, 20, 30, 40 votes or something like that. And he didn't protest it. Something up with that. But I wanted to show y'all that. But I got to talk to you guys about bond. Another thing too, I wanted to tell y'all about too is that Tyrone Hurst is Dustin friend, and y'all see he end up with the low bond. Did y'all know that Tyrone Hurst is a convicted felon? Tyrone Hurst kidnapped a person before. He kidnapped Eric Nicholson back in 2002 at the club called Other Side of Midnight. Y'all can Google this stuff. He placed him in a truck. Now, don't this sound familiar? Him and the other person did. The person that was with him was Montreal Cole. Montreal Cole got more time than Tyrone did. Now, of course, Dustin went in power then, and Cole. But let me tell you that. Placed him in a truck. They placed him in the back of the truck of his own vehicle, the person's vehicle, right? And then beating him and left his vehicle in Daleville at the post office, right? Now, see, now don't you see that? See, that's the reason why I told y'all about capital murder, what the person should have been charged with. So now we finna read bond and stuff. And this is what's really bad is that you have justice court judges, you have what you call criminal, what we're gonna call them civil rules of criminal procedures. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read some of that to you now, right? Capital crimes for the purpose of bail aren't just those for which a person can be sentenced to death. Code section 1, 3, and 4, this is Mississippi Code, also in volume 1, tells us that the objective capital, when applied to Mississippi crimes, including offenses that can carry a life sentence, that's murder, can also be used in this case. Should have been charged with capital murder. Now, that's how I see it. I don't see it no other way. But Dustin looking out for his friend. But how about, let's assume that law enforcement said, well, we don't know whether or not they stole his vehicle. We don't know whether or not he killed him one place and brought him another place. We don't know whether or not. Well, look at Tyrone Hurst's MO, what he did. Look at his motive operandus. Look what he did in the past with this other fella. They took him, they kidnapped him, they placed him in his truck, and they killed him, and they left him. The same thing that happened to this person here that came up here, Mr. Williams. The same exact thing. So look at his motive. If you look at how he does things, you can only assume that truck ain't got up there. If the body at one place and the truck at another place, that's two crimes right there. And then the third crime is arson. So let's assume that the truck is right where the body is. You still got two crimes. You got the crime of arson and you got the crime of murder. But the truck is at a different place. So you got three crimes there. That's a capital offense. And his friend should have been charged with the same exact thing. So I want to talk about that. And they said, okay, let's go on and talk about a little bit more. And they talk about other things, other crimes and things. I'm going to read this here to you. This is page 20 that I got to read page 20. And this is MRC, lowercase RP, Mississippi Rules of Criminal Procedure. This is 8.2 that we're talking about. Okay, now this is talking about Rule 8, Section A. And then it's got like Brandon versus the UA. It says that, okay, it said the rest of the time, this is any other charges. Then we talked about robbery, kidnapping, capital murder, anything else can carry a death penalty. That's what it says. It says that. That's what the rule says. Okay, it says the rest of the time, which means most of the time, criminal offenses, and it's saying justice court, and it's saying city court too. And this is explaining it to the justice court judges because they're not real lawyers. May mean that it's reasonable for you to order the release of an accused person on his or her personal recognizance. reconnaissance, or on a totally unsecured bond. Bear in mind that every person, Dustin, accused is presumed to be innocent. So think of your job as making it reasonable for a presumptively innocent person to go home and perhaps work while his or her case is pending in court. You hear that shit, Dustin? And you calling yourself doing something for the black community when the rules itself compels you that that person is presumed to be innocent, but you said $1 million bonds. Let me go on and read a little bit. Bond guideline. Rule 8C provided courtesy of your Mississippi Constitution, recommend a range of bail amount for judges to set in felony and misdemeanor cases. Judges will continue to have discretion in the matter of bail, but that discretion must, it said must, and must is mandatory, be exercised in a reasonable manner. In future cases in which a judge bail setting, in future cases in which a judge bail setting reasonableness comes into question, that reasonableness or lack thereof may be evaluated in light of the recommended ranges that have been provided for you in Mississippi Rules of Criminal Procedure 8C, which states that, and here are the things that you got to keep in mind, Dustin, when you make bond. You must assume, it said presume, you must assume that the person accused is innocent. You got to assume that shit, Dustin. Excessive bail is prohibited by the Mississippi Constitution. Release on personal recognizance is often appropriate. Release on an unsecured bond also is appropriate. Bail is not meant to be a means of punishing the accused. If set, bail must be in an amount the accused, not his or her family or his or her friends, is financially capable of making. Let me read this shit to you again, Dustin. And if you don't want to believe me, say go to and look at Mississippi Rules of Criminal Procedure. Bail must be in an amount the accused, not his family, not his rich uncle, daddy, cousin, or somebody they know, if the person don't have a job, is financially capable of making. And if the accused is such a great risk, you hear this, Dustin? If they are such a great risk, or if so dangerous that he or she needs to stay in jail, the way to achieve that is by denying the bail, not by setting bail in some outrageously high amount. And folks, I just had to say that, and that's sad. And it's sad that, and then look at my son shooting at somebody. Yeah, I'm gonna stay there. And folks, I don't like this. And you know, Montreal got more time than Tyrone Herson. But the thing of it is that you don't have to be consistent, but you got to be fair. But here's what I say about all that. You got to use the law. Use the law. Get on to the, and we're going to have Q read the comments in a minute. And I got something else I want to say before I go. And what you see me looking at is that I make notes. I want to say this to Mayor Smith. I hope you don't become so arrogant that you don't listen to the people. Right now, you need to kind of like do some changes. Listen to us. And I'm going to tell you now, and folks, listen to me. Y'all hear me talking all the time, but I promise you, folks, that within between now and this time next week, when you see me next week, I'm going to be telling you about, I'm going to serve the city of Mississippi with an intent to sue. I'm definitely going to do that. And the reason why I'm going to sue is because of how I've been treated in that same corrupt ass courtroom down there in city court. And it's sad, you know. I just hope that this, and I want to tell y'all this while I was talking about bond, this family here, son was arrested on South Mississippi. So don't think that what goes on in Meridian, this guy had $1 million bail. These are white people now. We ain't talking about a black person setting a black person. We talking about a white people. His bond was set. Somebody came to his cousin's apartment, house, home, whatever you want to call it, to kill them. The person ended up getting killed. Now, this young man was behind the person, from what I'm told. He was behind the person that actually did the killing. He was 16 years old at the time, folks. This happened 2 years ago. stayed in jail, bond $1 million and never made bond. So they made a deal with his attorney. The family paid the attorney $15,000. So don't think all the time paying an attorney a lot of money quick. Here's where you know you sold out. When you getting ready to go down there and it's all been there 2 years and this lawyer has not filed for emotional discovery to get all the evidence. Now the family told me that they was gonna go and look at the video. And so when they went and looked at the video, I wanted them to call me on the phone because it was my nephew. Y'all hear Two Bell talking, bro, that ain't your damn nephew. Two Bell, you gonna let me tell my story. It was my nephew, as I said. Anyway, they never called me. So when I got a call from a phone call from my niece, shut up, don't say it, don't do it. I got that from Q. Don't do it. Anyway, I'm talking to Two Bell. Anyway, because he was finna that ain't your, yes, it is. And y'all let me tell my story. Anyway, so she said that they went into the DA's office and watched the video and they couldn't take phones or anything in there. So what that tells me is that this attorney that was paid $15,000 did not even file for a motion of discovery, ineffective assistance. This family here actually have a case against that attorney and also against prosecutorial misconduct. So all these need to be filed. And even though the young child, he's 18 now, he pleaded out. Q, talk for a moment.
Okay. I was actually, I just seen this comment that Lo said, and it caught my attention. So whenever we get ready to read the comments, I'm gonna read that first. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, and so and I hope the family they still can file a motion for reconsideration. They got to do that within 30 days to vacate that sentence. So he's supposed to plead out for manslaughter. You understand, pleading out for manslaughter uh, and carries either 1 year in jail and a $500 fine, or 2 to 20 in prison, depend. But the judge said he ain't gonna take that. He's not gonna do that. And the guy had to plead out to murder, and they gave him 28 years, folks. 28 years at 50%, meaning that he got to do 14 years. And y'all do the math. So you add 12 years to his 18 years, he'll be 30 years old when he get out. And he basically, but y'all see my son Reek right there. Reek coming in on the podcast. Throw your hands up, Reek. Look at him, he good looking, boy. Look at it. But anyway, and that's sad. I hope the family contact me so that I can help them with an appeal. It's sad that we don't have attorneys that would do that, and so these people sold him down the river, and so you have malpractice, bar complaint, malpractice, and prosecutorial misconduct. And I'm the only person that'll do that because I hate when somebody get their life taken from them like that. And so I had to tell y'all that. And so what Q gonna do is something you want to say, Q, and I want you to read the comments, and then we're gonna close out and we're gonna take it home.
I don't have nothing to say, but so I'm gonna just go ahead and read the comments. Like I said, Lo just commented something that caught my attention, and so she said, "Eddie Ho, a person was found not guilty for murder on yesterday. Rochester Anderson testified against the accuser, and 12 jury didn't believe Anderson. What do you think about this?"
Let me answer Low. Low, you know what? It shows how incompetent Rochester Anderson is, how he does things. That means that they didn't really have any evidence. One thing that I like the Cassie did in this case is that she said the charges that it need to be dismissed, that's sending, receiving, and possession of child pornography, never to be brought up again before her, because Rochester Anderson, every grand jury was going up there trying to get us indicted, and now low stuff been expunged. And that's another thing, is that I am definitely going to file a lawsuit against everybody that's involved with this. And not only that, I've asked for an expungement. Y'all low name has been expunged. WTOK won't even correct the story, update the story, or take her name down, nor will they do that for me. And it's adversely affecting my life. And so I'm definitely going to sue WTOK, and I'm definitely going to file a lawsuit against Dustin Markham for using misuse of a government procedure, and also the same thing against John Howard and Jimmy Smith, because he's their supervisor. He's not supervising them. He's alive for them. And I did tell him. My sister called him, and my sister loved Jimmy. And Doris, he did not do what he said he's going to do, because they continue. And folks, I'm going to tell y'all this. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and thank you, Lo. Y'all see how sharp Lo is. Not every grand jury, but Meridian Police Department through Rochester Anderson went to every grand jury for 2 years trying to get me and Lo indicted on them trumped up ass charges. Man, that he need to be tarred and feathered, ran out of town, need to be in the same damn jail cell he done lied and put people in. Thanks, Lo, for that correction. And anyway, folks, uh, let me see. Oh, look at my daughter. Look, I'm
Mhm.
Ray. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Tracy was saying, "Great job, Dad. Enjoying the show." I'm starting from the bottom and going to the top. Uh, Gabby
Hey,
said,
baby.
"Yeah,
I'm talking to cute. Not you this time, cute. I'm talking to my baby Tracy. Hey, Tracy.
Gabby said, we love you, Eddie, so much."
Hey, Gavin. We love you too.
Sandra Lynn said, "Hi, hey, Chandra. I'm
What's
sorry."
up, niece? That's my niece. Hey, baby.
Araya, Araya said, "My dad had 5 views. It should be 5 likes, not two." Actually, Araya, we got 54 views. That's including YouTube and Facebook. Um, I guess Andrew Brown said, that I'm finna smoke now, and Tracy replied to it, said, "Girl, I died a real death after you said I'm finna smoke now."
But you know what, folks, man, we gotta really start voting. We gotta stop letting them do us so bad, because what happened with all those people being arrested, that's what's sad about it, is that they didn't arrest anyone for actually they ain't got no drugs off nobody. I would hate to think that the Lauderdale County Sheriff Department, the Newton County Sheriff Department, the Clark County Sheriff Department, the 19th, the 17th judicial district in the state of Alabama, Texas, California, and Mexico are so damn incompetent they could not even get just one piece of drug off somebody. They could not just catch one person selling drugs. You got that many people. Wow, you telling me that these people, they shouldn't have these people in jail. They should take them and make them president of the United States, because our damn president don't seem to know how to do shit. They need to take these people and let them be mayor of the city of Meridian, because they don't seem to know how to do anything. Look at all the houses being torn down. Just look at it instead of build. These people that know how to build things from clay, and it's just sad. It's just sad, sad, sad. Araya, I mean, oh y'all, Araya's right here. Go ahead. What's the purpose of existence? Y'all see my daughter ask this question. She's right here by me. She could ask me this. Anyway, yeah, and folks, I want to thank y'all for listening. Q, I appreciate you. That's pretty. Tracy, where are you, baby? Why you need to put a picture up there? My baby Tracy got a real pretty afro too when she wear it. My daughter Tracy is very beautiful. She lost her friend recently. There's been so many people that's been dying and passing. My cheering uncle Curtis Tingle passed. I mean, we could just go on and on, and it's sad. But my daughter playing. Y'all have too bad. Too bad said, girl, you need to stop that. So go in there and do your homework. Y'all have a good day. Thankfully, go ahead.